Is this thing on?
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, check 1 2 3 4. Okay, I think we're live. Hello, Brian McCall. How are you? And John from Jersey. What's up, John? My name is Pete Kaliner. That is the one and only TJ Ritchie. Hello,
Yeah, I
Lynn.
clean WBT the building at night, so
You don't want to know how he does that either. It's
no, you
it's
don't.
very it's very primitive, but it's effective. Um, TJ, so Lynn once says, if TJ, if it is a couple listening, does it count as one or two of the 11 listeners?
I think that would count as two. I mean, yeah, and if you don't know, if you've never heard my show, then you are absolutely not alone. I have only 11 listeners that listen every night, so that's what they mean by that.
Well, that's more than I had when the first gig I had as a host at WBT when I started doing some fill-in hosting, but the first one I had was 9 to midnight.
Yeah.
And John was the only listener, and that's why he's still here.
Yeah, but you didn't come in as a Charlotte radio legend.
True.
Like I did. So I would have expected to have more than 11 by now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, you are legendary, but I don't know if
nobody knows
not compared to what I am.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously. Well, nobody knows who the reporters are. So
hey, I did. I knew that Pete Kaliner, and I knew John Stokes. He was the guy on in the mornings during the time that I was on in the mornings. I would still sneak in listening and stuff. That's how much I love WBT.
So, have you ever heard of the way Lynn's comment here now prompts this thought? Have you ever heard of the way that newspapers gauge their circulation? How they come up with their circulation numbers? Because, like, I always thought this was years ago when I found this out, but I was always under the impression that it was like, you sell a certain number of subscriptions, and that gets into the count, right? Yep. And then you how many papers got bought out of all of your boxes on the sidewalks or wherever you put them, and that would go into the count. Mm-hmm. And so you would have an idea then of what your circulation count would be, right? Like that's okay. Well, so I don't know if you remember this, but the Charlotte Observer did some sort of like a promotional deal or something where they opened up their morning news meetings. So for people, real quick, for people who don't know, in the news industry, newsrooms, whether it's TV, radio, or print, you do these meetings where, everybody sits down and the reporters have story ideas and leads, and, the assignment editors are there and the news directors are there. Like everybody's there and they're, hashing out, like, what are we covering today? Right. How are we marshaling the resources? So the Observer, and this was probably about 15 years ago, they opened up their morning meetings to subscribers, or I don't know, maybe a bunch of randos. I don't know. But they opened it up, and somebody, I forget who it was, somebody, I think at the radio station, went to one of them. And the question of circulation count came up somehow. And what this guy, I think it was Taylor Batten. You remember that name? He was the editor or something. And he claimed that they do like a multiplier. So every newspaper that they sell in a subscription or out of the box, they multiply it. And I want to say the number was by 12.
Because they figure it would get passed around to that many people that would read it.
Exactly. Right. That was their rationale. Like, oh, I buy it and then I leave it like at the diner, or, I lay it on the counter at the doctor's office. And so everybody reads it, And I guess there may have been some research into that. Maybe. I don't know, but
we never do that.
Yeah. I've never thought I think we should do that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We should multiply the number of listeners.
Right.
Let's do it by 50 though, or more.
Right. Because how many people that are here right now are going to tell somebody else about something we said?
Yeah. Didn't one of the satellite radio, well, I think it was when they were still separate, I'm not sure, but it was XM and Sirius were two separate things.
I remember. Yeah.
One of them get in trouble for counting all of the GM vehicles on the lot. as subscribers, because when you bought a GM vehicle, you got a like 6
Yeah.
months or whatever a free subscription. So even the cars that hadn't been bought yet, they were counting those people as subscribers.
This is a dastardly industry we are in. John says, how many of those first night listeners are still hanging out? For my first night, 9 to midnight, probably one, and it's John.
But he's hanging out in the daytime now. He's not hanging out at night.
9 to mid no, and he has, and I will say this about, I always, if you ever hear me refer to John from New Jersey, this is him. Because he started listening when he would be in his workshop up in Jersey,
Mhm.
and the signal would hit him on the skip, on the
Yeah.
bounce. And so he would be working in his wood shop, and he would, send me messages and whatnot. And then when I went to Asheville, when I was on my timeout from WBT, then he still listened there, and now he's back at BT. So I brought a listener back to BT.
Oh.
Now we don't get credit for him because he's in Jersey.
Right.
Yeah.
You get podcast credit for him.
Yes.
Like, so he counts as what? Let's say 100 podcast listeners,
Downloads. Yes.
or whatever.
I think that's how that works.
Mhm.
So I couldn't help but notice, do you own a castle? Do you live in a castle?
This is actually the dungeon of the castle.
Nice.
Yeah, and
I like what you've done with it.
yeah, this is a new type of brick, like stone, that's soft. See?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a soft stone.
So you can like throw people into the walls in the dungeon, and it won't mess them up too bad.
Well, it's mainly for me, so I don't hurt myself.
Okay.
Because I'm locked down here. And
From the outside, like Michael Jackson style?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Locks me in here.
All right. So all right. I just heard this this morning. I'm going to run a theory by you.
Okay.
All right. How much do you know about Michael Jackson?
Pretty good bit.
Okay. Yeah, because for folks who don't know, which of course you should, is that TJ has spent most of his career in the music radio side of the industry. So spinning all the hits and everything like that, I guess. So I heard this today, and I'd never heard it before, that Michael Jackson's father,
Mm-hmm.
who, like some of the horror stories, I mean, I don't know any horror stories about him, but I've heard that there are horror stories. Who's pretty like, demanding.
He's a disciplinarian for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory goes that Michael Jackson's father was pumping Michael full of puberty blockers
To keep his voice high.
to keep him from going through puberty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he was always like childlike. Everybody, he
Yeah.
never got big. Oh, I heard it. Joe Rogan was saying this theory, and Joe Rogan says a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff, but some of them turn out to be true. And yeah, and so I had never thought of that, but because he's like, look at all of the other Jackson brothers.
Yeah, they all have normal voices and hair on their chests and all.
And they're ripped.
Yeah, I've studied the hair on the Jackson brothers' chest.
I thought you had done like a 2-hour long program a couple weeks ago about that.
Mm-hmm. It's more of a radio documentary kind of thing.
Right, a rockumentary.
Mm-hmm. The body hair of the Jackson 5 minus Michael.
Right. And that would explain it. And that would explain why he was always hanging around kids, because that's who he kind of identified with. If he never got, it doesn't explain how he had the kids though.
But I mean, he didn't have the kids in the traditional sense though, did he?
Oh,
I mean, the lady that had the kids with him, his name was Debbie Rowe, if I remember correctly.
From Roe v. Wade fame, I believe.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. And she was a dental assistant or an assistant at his dermatologist or something. But she said that they made the babies the traditional way. But can you believe a woman that's having babies with Michael Jackson just to have babies with him? I don't know.
I mean, a dermatologist assistant, she would probably be in a lot of the, the meetings and the procedures with him. And you probably get to know somebody, very, I was
Well,
gonna say intimately, but yes, I guess, like, that's yeah, you probably
but
maybe.
isn't that against the laws of being, like doctor patient, involved?
She's not the doctor.
But isn't she? I guess she could have quit her job as a nurse and then started, making the deal with him.
Right, because he can support her. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
And then Christy Lynn says here that Lisa Marie Presley said that they had real relations.
they had relations.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, full disclosure, Christy is my wife,
Oh, really?
but she counts as a participant tonight.
Yeah. My
Okay.
wife's passed out drunk in there. She can't help us at all.
Uh,
I'm kidding, of
we
course.
got, is it Diva or Deva? Deve Broussard, hello. Michael Lepino. Do I say it with the Italian accent?
Mm,
Uh, I feel like it. I feel like I should.
yeah,
Uh,
go.
Good evening, Mike. So this is for TJ. How has your transition to 1110 been going for you? How's the transition, TJ?
Well, I decided that I was going to transition a long time ago, and I just felt like, I was trapped in the wrong radio station. So
And then he had a very helpful therapist
yeah, the
who
transition,
coaxed him into transitioning.
yeah, the transition procedure has gone pretty well. I honestly haven't worked at a radio station where everybody has been as nice to me as they have at WBT. And, it's a little bit out of, out of my comfort zone because I've never done a radio show completely solo.
Mm,
Um, since I was a slamming nighttime disc jockey on the top 40, the blazing top 40 stations. So I'm really, enjoying it. It's something that I look forward to every night, especially, on the nights, when you already have so much stuff, like, as we say, in the can, ready to go. Like the other night, I was doing the show and I had a lot of just sometimes these crazy videos that you find on social media, on all these news sites on social media. They can make you just go, "What? Oh my God, people really are this way. This is a real person out there acting this way." So I mean, I was just firing on a bunch of those, and I thought, "Wow, this is fun," and it goes by really fast. So, and it may be because I'm used to doing a 4 hour show every day
yeah.
instead of a 2 hour show, um, but it goes by fast, and I still do that morning show that's syndicated, and
Yeah. Where do people find that?
you can get that at tjritchie.com. You can find it there, or tjriggins.com. Um,
That
but
is not an assumed identity. That is his
yeah,
co-host,
yeah, my
Riggins.
partner, morning show partner's name is Riggins, and it's just, I don't know, it's something that I have always wanted to do, and then once I've been doing it, I am pleased to see that I don't, like, suck at it as bad. You know what I mean? It's like when you really want to do something for a long time and then you finally get an opportunity to do it, and then you realize, oh my God, this is awful. I'm terrible at this. So I don't think I'm terrible at it.
You're not.
I have a lot to learn though, still, about just the format itself. But I'm enjoying it a lot. And, um, working with people like Pete, who will take the time to tell me along the way if I ask him questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? Because I'm always looking for tips from people who have been in the business longer than I have.
I
And
ghost you like 90% of the time, though.
but that 10% is just solid.
It's solid.
Yeah, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah. No, so like can you think of any like the biggest differences aside from the amount of time and then it seems to fly past like what are the biggest differences between prepping for your show that you do that plays a lot of music, right? Because you're
Mhm.
like how long are your segments when like in between music?
Well, it used to be, with the Ace and TJ show. At one time, we only played one song an hour, and
Oh, okay.
there was a stretch there for a while where it was the trend in radio for a good content-driven morning show to not play. A lot of them would play the average of 4 songs an hour or something like that if they were good. But then it started growing. They changed the way that you take ratings and all of that, and so they were trying to work more music back in. But the show that I do now is 4 4-minute segments an hour. So
Okay.
not like it used to be, but it's still pretty good bit. But in planning the shows and different ways of doing it, when I'm planning the show for the group, you can throw out something and then you count on the rest of them picking it up and stretching the conversation out and having funny takes on whatever's going on. Whereas doing it by myself, I've just got to keep moving. And I know that I can't just throw something out and then somebody's going to pick it up and run with it sometimes and all that. I'm the only one running with it.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I kind of like it that way. I like having both a show that goes with both directions.
Yeah. Yeah. It was one of the things, because I did when I first started, well, when I was a news guy, 9/11 hit. The precipitating event is Zoran Mamdani's aunt crying on a subway.
That was so sad. I was so sad to hear that.
By the way, I'm not even sure that story's true, but
No,
yeah. So I don't even know if she actually lives in New York. So 9/11 hits, and our sister station 107.9 FM, it used to be called The Link, now it's called Mix 107.9. The afternoon hosts were Matt and Ramona. And so they asked me to come in and do a newscast, and it started off as 1 minute just to give them, a news update. And it was really focused on, the cleanup at, Ground Zero and, 9/11 focus stuff. And we just kept doing it. And then, of course, the further away you move from 9/11, the more you're working in different stories. And then, of course, Matt in the afternoon would start asking me ridiculous questions, because Matt's kind of ridiculous. But I love Matt. He's fantastic.
he's great.
Yeah, he's great. And but he always has these just really random questions that he just blurts out. And so then this segment just grew and grew, and then it was like one block, and then it turned into a full half-hour block. And then I remember, though, that days when either Matt or Ramona would not be there, the show, it didn't have the momentum,
Right.
because I can only imagine when you work. Same thing happened on WBT years ago when Spires and Krantz were the afternoon guys. And if one of them was out, then it was left to the one guy remaining. And you can tell that you get into a pattern, there's a rhythm in working with somebody that you don't have when you are solo. And I imagine it would be difficult bouncing back and forth between the rhythms, right?
Well, for one thing that helps on the other show is Riggins has actually been with the show for ever since he was in college, and he's in his late 30s now. He started out as an intern, and also he is one of those people that comes along and he just gets it. He gets it from the very beginning, and then he just flawlessly slid in as the co-host from being the third player on the show. But yeah, doing something for over 30 years with somebody, and that's the way you build your whole career, is with that certain person. You do, it's automatic. How that person's going to go. He knows how you're going to go, and so forth. And then, in those times when, let's say Ace had to be gone for something, it was still, obviously it was fantastic. No, I'm kidding. But you're right. It's a completely different feel for everything, because you're so used to that chemistry going back and forth. But I do like, and this is going to sound arrogant, but I don't mean it to be. I'm the least arrogant person in the world.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
from you,
From me,
actually.
exactly. Yeah. I make sure everybody knows that. But I do like being able to do a show that I don't have to have a meeting with anybody else to discuss content or ideas or things like that.
So they don't tell you what to say?
No, but that's
No, really?
if I see something or I see an article and all, the first thing that I think of is is this interesting to me? And if it is, then I can run with it and make it interesting to the audience, I think, because trying to do something that the host is not interested in, trying to fake that, I'm not good at that at all.
No, I don't think a
Mhm.
lot of people are. I think, and that was it was one of the things that Rush Limbaugh talked about too, was that
Mhm.
he didn't cover anything he wasn't interested in.
Exactly.
And if you didn't like the content, then you don't like the content. That's okay. But he wasn't going to talk about stuff that he didn't care about. Um, and it just so happened that he attracted a lot of people because the stuff he cared about was stuff that a lot of other people cared about too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're right on with that.
So, what's this question? This is Lynn. Pete, as Thanksgiving approaches, I'm on your side that dressing is a condiment and mayo is a super condiment.
Superior.
Superior. Okay.
The
Superior.
the
Yeah.
the superior condiment. I
For
suggest
Thanksgiving.
yeah, well, for anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
I agree
I
with that.
suggested to you a couple of years ago to start making your own mayo with an immersion blender with your avocado oil. I think you could get an additional tablespoon of avocado oil when you were yes, I have the immersion blender thing, and one time I did make, like, a whole bunch of it because I had a lot of mess ups because it's
Mhm.
actually harder than you might have you ever made your own mayo,
Me?
AJ? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's hard.
I'm an excellent, I'm an excellent amateur chef. Yes.
Ah. Handcrafted mayo is
Mhm.
difficult. And so,
And I'm
yeah, I did
also not arrogant.
no, we know. You've told us now twice. Uh, but, uh, no, so, yeah, so I have had, what some may say, are considered, the, most epic, uh, fights, usually around Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
because it is my position, and I have not been persuaded off of this position for years now, despite all of the best arguments that have come at me, that the the side dish
Mhm.
at Thanksgiving, it is called stuffing and it's not dressing.
Well, they're two different things.
See, dressing is ranch. Dressing is what you do is some sort of a viscous liquid that
Mhm.
is then
Yeah.
uh yeah, drizzled atop
Mhm.
some other main dish or side dish even, right?
Right.
So it's called ranch dressing, it's called salad dressing, right? All of that stuff is dressing. You
Mm.
don't get to take a bread product and turn it into dressing.
You just you're talking about just as far as the wording of it, but the
Words have meaning.
yeah,
Yes, and
I get
that's it.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But I wonder which one came first, salad
Stuff
dressing or chicken and dressing.
stuffing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't hit a dog in the butt with stuffing. I'm gonna tell you that right
Why
now.
not? You don't like the
Oh,
stuffing, the stove
dry
if you look at stovetop,
It's just Yankee food. I don't like that.
it's just bread.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like it. I'd much rather have um, moist chicken and dressing that's not going to be stuffed into anything.
Right, well, they no
I'll
people
stuff it.
don't stuff the stuff people usually are I mean,
But
most
you
people well, I
should.
shouldn't say most people. I grew up with stuffing that was just made on the stovetop. We didn't
Right,
stuff it in anything,
right. But then
right?
why call it stuffing? If
'Cause
words mean
that's
things, what are
because
you stuffing it in?
because it's stuffing to you. It fills you up because it's basically
Okay,
bread
you
and
stuff it
water,
in your mouth.
and it distends the stomach, and so it
Mhm.
stuffs you. It makes you feel like you've eaten a lot of food when you have not. Um, yeah, so, yeah, so that's
So
the
you,
classic, dressing stuff. I just say come up with a different word.
yeah,
Like,
I get that. I
yeah,
get that.
come up with a different word beside
Mhm.
dressing.
Yeah, but which one do you prefer though? If you could have the Southern style cornbread dressing,
Not a thing.
or the stuffing that's just breadcrumbs and more dry.
Well, it's only dry if someone doesn't know how to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not gonna rank or compare, some
That's
immaculately made cornbread stuffing with some dried out,
okay. So let's
Yankee
say they're
stuff.
both made the perfect texture that they're supposed to be.
Yeah, stuffing.
Stuffing is still going to be drier
No,
than dressing.
no,
No, okay,
no, especially if you put dressing on it.
all right. Well, I mean, this is just something that I mean, I mean, you're not Southern, and it's a regional thing. I'm sure.
No,
Just like I would never even try chestnut stuffing or whatever that's called, like they
I've
have in the
never even.
Northeast somewhere. Chestnut,
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
that's Canada. I don't
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
eat
eat
Canadian
that.
food.
No, I don't either. Not even their bacon.
Nuh-uh. It's not even bacon.
No,
It's ham. It's
they
just
don't.
ham.
They don't even know.
Yeah.
But I also though I do the regular chicken and dressing, traditional style, and then I do crawfish dressing for my Louisiana side,
Mhm, mhm.
and I actually prefer it.
See, I think there's an opportunity here.
Okay.
If you were to come up with a name for that product with your what'd you say it was? Crawfish?
Yeah.
Crawfish,
Mm-hmm.
dressing?
Yeah.
If you were to come up with something to name that, you could market that, and then that would change the name. It would
Yeah.
move off of the cornbread
Mm-hmm.
dressing
Um.
as a name, because again, dressing is already taken,
Yeah, but no, I think. Are you sure that
Why is it called dressing?
because it dresses up
Mm-mm.
the other parts of the meal, and some
I
people
have
take the
no,
cornbread dressing and put it actually on chicken or turkey, so that would make it a dressing.
that doesn't make tomatoes a dressing.
Mm-hmm.
You put those on
See,
turkey on a sandwich.
but how do we figure out what was invented first, the cornbread dressing or salad dressing?
I'm thinking salad dressing got invented first because, like, people were eating leaves probably before they were cultivating fields of corn.
I don't know. I think the Pilgrims had a good crawfish dressing at the first Thanksgiving.
I think I did hear that. Yeah, but they didn't call it dressing.
You get them out of ditches, you know.
They didn't call it dressing. Crayfish is the Yankee, term for it, Ritchie. Crawfish is the Southern term for it. I
Yeah.
learned that very early on when I came down south.
Mm-hmm.
30 years, 33 years ago, just for the record there.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
But
let me go.
are
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
saying that you've kind of conformed a little bit
Oh, yeah.
Southern ways?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What do you call what people sleep in at night?
A bed,
No, the clothing.
pajamas.
Okay, good. That's a Southern way of pronouncing it.
Yeah, yeah,
People say
pajamas, I think
pajamas.
sounds like a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've adopted y'all because it is a superior,
Mm-hmm.
term. I mean, I grew up and everybody said "you guys," and it never made
Mm-hmm.
sense to me. So when
Yeah.
I heard "y'all," I was like, "That's obviously better."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna use that, and then
And
it caught on with the rappers.
somebody earlier asked me what I think a superior condiment is.
Yes, so
Uh,
that's the mayo. That
yeah,
was yes,
I
'cause
love
mayo,
mayo. I really do. A
man,
sandwich is
smell
not
a butt.
very much without mayo on it. But I think,
Mm-mm,
being as Southern as I am, I
mm.
believe that ranch would probably take, it would be number one for me, and mayo would be number two. Did you think I was going to say Miracle Whip?
That's not a that's
No,
no,
because
that they call that a dressing.
I know, because it was created to be on salads,
That makes
and
sense
it
'cause it's
dresses the lettuce and tomato on a sandwich.
yeah, it's awful. No,
Hmm.
Miracle Whip is not mayo.
No.
So I've had, numerous, again, some may say epic arguments over the years about the superiority of mayo as the ultimate condiment,
Hmm.
for a couple of reasons, and, I mean, I won't belabor the point here, but, I mean, because the science is pretty well settled on this now. It's, uh, it anything you can put any other condiment on, you can put mayo on.
Hmm.
Now, this is not I know some people will say, "I don't like mayo." Okay, well, that's not relevant to the conversation. Your personal taste, whether you like mustard or ketchup or don't like mustard or ketchup or whatever, irrelevant. It's about the versatility and the application of the condiment. And that's
Yeah.
what makes mayo superior because there is no other condiment and virtually no other food that you can put mayo with where it wouldn't be better than any other type condiment.
Well,
Because
see,
people come up with all sorts of crazy concoctions. Like, what about chocolate? Like, okay, nobody is dipping their
um,
chocolate in mustard. That's just not
right.
happening.
But I love it, and I feel the same way. Um, but I think that ranch is just as versatile. I mean, you put ranch on everything from salads to chicken tenders to burgers to pizza. I
Mhm,
mean, hot dogs,
mhm.
everything. I dip it in ranch.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
I can
me
do that with
kind of,
mayo too. All of those things
yeah,
I can do
but
mayo as well.
here's what I do, and this is why I ended up at PhD weight loss. I would I would get, like, let's just say it's a Philly cheesesteak sandwich,
Oh, yeah.
and I'd slather the mayo on it, and then I would take each bite and dip it into ranch. So I'm doubling up on it, ranch and
So
mayo.
so basically, every food is just a delivery mechanism for ranch.
Yeah, and mayo if possible.
Right, double up, why not?
Yeah,
Um, right,
fries
so
and dip in mayo.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, fries and mayo. So here's the thing, can you think of a single thing to swap the ranch out, for mayo where mayo wouldn't serve the purpose versus swapping mayo out where ranch would not serve the purpose,
Well,
right?
if somebody said you can either have mayo or mayonnaise on your Philly cheesesteak, I would pick the ranch.
Yeah, right, again,
Yeah,
but that's because you like the taste of the
yeah,
ranch.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, what about potato salad? What about macaroni salad? First off, again, not salad, okay? But
Mm.
that's what everybody calls it.
Well, I don't eat macaroni salad because that's women food. Men aren't supposed to eat macaroni salad or any type of cake with no icing, like pound cake and angel
Yeah.
food cake and things like that.
Yeah, I
Um,
like the icing.
but no, I think if you swap the mayo for ranch on any of those things, it would be just fine to me.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Have you tried it?
No, but I will easily.
No, you're on PhD now, you can't.
Like as soon as I lose these last stubborn 71 vanity pounds, I'm going to get on it.
Alright, let me go to the comments here, and we'll see what people are
Okay.
saying. This is from, let's see, Lipino. Okay, that's how Michael pronounced it, Lipino, thank you.
Mhm.
John says, 36 viewers here, cool. Look at that. We broke the record, TJ.
Oh, well, I knew we would.
Nice, alright, I feared it would be low on a Sunday evening. You and me both, brother. Thank you for the wonderful shows, says Terry, that you put on every day and every evening, and I am really enjoying the Facebook show. Keep up the good work. That's from Terry.
Well, thanks, Terry.
Yeah, thank you. Michael says, which repeat caller do you love putting on the air that makes you shake your head because they are so bad? Do you have a favorite
I
repeat
don't.
caller?
I don't.
Really?
I don't know.
They're
Um,
not trolling you at your 7 to 9 there?
well, since we added that text line, that's where they all come in at
Yeah.
night. Because by the time I get them at 7 to 9, um, a lot of them they're drunk.
Yeah.
And so I do have some repeat good callers that I like putting on, but not ones that I think are crazy. I know you do though, don't you?
Oh, yeah, because they haven't started drinking.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so, like, I mean, I could run them down. You guys could probably name them too. What do we got? Brian and, Mike, Randall, Cheryl, there's a guy named Chris, but he isn't called that often. There was somebody else that we think there's Brian and then there's the other caller. Maybe Nick, producer Nick behind the scenes may know the other guy's name. It's not Brian. But, yeah, like, I put them at the front of the line.
Hmm.
And then I get people that yell at me on the text line and on the emails. They're like, "Ah, I hate Brian. Don't ever put him on. It's terrible, whatever, whatever." But I love it because it's like I want the pure, distilled, leftist dumbassery.
Hmm.
I want to just lap it up and let everybody hear it, and then I take pleasure in, just
Yeah.
just gutting them. It's fun for me.
Yeah, I wish that I had those types of callers, but mostly I get people who just simply want to call me white supremacist, misogynist, racist, all of
Mhm.
these things. And if they're not bringing an argument that that we can argue an issue or something like that, then I don't want to give them the space on the show, because
Mhm.
I can come up with something more entertaining than that for the people listening.
So
Uh,
here's a great question I love asking.
okay.
When somebody calls you something with an ist or an ism,
Mhm.
I say, "What is your evidence for that claim?"
Yeah.
And then just let them and then I just stop,
Hmm.
and you can like the dead air,
Right.
just let it and then they start scrambling, and I just keep trying to drag them back to the thing just to highlight that, like, you're making accusations that are pretty awful against somebody, and you have no evidence to support this claim.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that our employer would not put a racist or a white supremacist on the radio. I'm pretty sure about that.
Right. I would say so.
Yeah, I think it's a safe a safe
Um, but excuse me, you can do that. I've done it, and they still want to call with the same stuff. So, I mean, after you've done that to them once, then they still just want to call back. It's like they have nothing else to do. I think it's their entertainment is to, because they'll start immediately.
bet.
As soon as I come, I haven't even said anything yet. Brett Jensen says goodbye,
Mhm.
and
They're already there.
they start the same one. So you're the one that told me how to block them the other day. So I've
You're
started
welcome.
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, block them. There's no yeah, some of those people, like, I gave them funny names. Evil Lefty is
Mhm.
one, and, Lefty McLefterson, stuff like that, and then after I realize that they're not adding any value, then I start blocking them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But callers, Sean, by the way, was the other guy. Sean, caller Sean. I'll put him on too. And because they love getting on the air and then exposing how little they know about the thing that they called in to talk about. It's a remarkable experience. Like I would feel embarrassment, but they don't. So it's kind of like I don't know. I've always been fascinated by the way people behave.
Hmm.
Maybe I should have been like a psychologist or a sociologist or something like that. Like try to figure out. And if you listen to the show, like I talk about some of this stuff too. Like, I'll pull stuff from Psychology Today or whatever. Because I'm just fascinated by like, why are you like this? you
Yeah,
know,
I'm the same way, and I'm America's number one societal profiler,
I've heard this as well.
and I if you didn't have to go to school for it, I would have probably been an FBI profiler.
Nice.
You know,
Oh,
super,
that means you are a white supremacist. You're profiling people.
supervisory special agent TJ is what I would have been. But you got to go to college, and who's got time for that?
Yeah.
You know, so I can be anything I want on the radio. I can even be a doctor if I want.
That's fair. I
I
mean,
grew up listening to a guy named Dr. FM, and I don't know what type of physician he was, but
fibromyalgia.
yeah,
I
he
think that's what that
specialized in
I
fibromyalgia.
think that's what that stands for.
Yeah.
Um, let me see here. Then you can speed it. Oh, wait. I agree with Pete on many things, but mustard is the superior condiment. Michael is dead to me. Um, you got to slow, right? I did learn that, Lynn. You have to start slow with the immersion blender. I did learn that about halfway through the 1 gallon.
Because you don't want it to break.
Right. Yeah. And then it's just done. Um,
The sauce, not the mayo, the fat from the other stuff, not
yeah, the oil and
the machine.
the egg. And yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Disagree, Michael. Mustard goes on specific things. Mayo can go on everything and is the base for every dressing. This is what I
Mhm.
mean. It's the
Yeah, it
superior.
is.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
it's the building block of so many. It's like carbon. It's the building block of like everything.
it's like a hollandaise. Hollandaise is a mother sauce, and you have to have hollandaise before you get béarnaise
See, that's a
and so
little.
forth. And
See,
so,
now your chef skills, your culinary expertise is coming out because I have never made either of those sauces. I would not know anything about them.
mm,
Mayo is where I top out.
Well, mayo is the common man's mother
Indeed.
sauce,
I'm a simple man.
and so am I. That's
Simple man. Uh, Let me see here. Lynn says, put mustard on everything. No, okay, a lot of hey Ritchie is here. Crayfish or crawfish. Mike wants to know which food do you miss the most from New York? And TJ, same question, but from Louisiana.
hmm. Well, mine from Louisiana. I don't because I can cook all the stuff. But it is well. I tell you what, I do miss boudin. That's something I miss because I don't make boudin. It's you got to make it like sausage, put it in a sausage casing, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't do that.
Yeah,
So
that's like some beat Bobby Flay type stuff right there.
yeah,
Yeah. I would not go to I would just buy that. Anything that involves me grinding meat and then having to pack it in a tube, I'm out.
yeah. Well, it's rice and pork and all these spices and everything, and then they put that into a sausage casing. And I do that so you'll know what it looks like to
Thank you for
shove
that.
it into the sausage casing.
See, that's something you can do on a live stream and not the radio.
Exactly.
There you go. I take the
Someone
opportunity to I would so it used to be pizza, because there is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the water, I think, because the water is the building blocks of the dough, it's of the sauce. Cheese is, universal. Um, but now well, that's what I used to think. Then I think I read somewhere a long time ago that's not the case, but I don't believe it. But now there are so many people from New York that have opened up pizzerias, and I worked in a pizzeria. It was my first like real job working in an Italian restaurant pizzeria. Uh, and so like I have found pizza in the South that is now, reminds me of the pizza from up north. So
Yeah.
that's not even anything. And even bagels, I think people have figured out outside of New York how to make bagels.
Well, there's a company in Charlotte, some bagel place that they say they bring the water in from Brooklyn
Oh,
because like you said, it's the water that makes the difference.
yeah. Yeah, well, and this people, for all of New York's problems, and they're about to have a lot more of them after they elect this jihadi adjacent commie. But the water that they have in New York is actually really good. It comes from upstate, from the mountains, and they got aquifers underneath, and so they're very lucky up there. They got good water. Uh, just call it wet seasoned bread side dish. Okay. You still a Yankee, old trashy Yankee. That's fine. You can call me whatever you want, Ritchie. You guys is to y'all as top vote getter is to votainer. Do you know what votainer is, TJ?
No, I don't.
Take this as a learning opportunity. So for probably about 7 years now, I have been on a mission to make the word votainer happen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever we cover elections, and there's always, there's like an at-large race, and you got like 3 seats open, you got like 10 people running for 3 seats, and they always say, TJ Ritchie is the top vote getter, followed by, Pete and then Nick. And it's like,
Yeah.
vote getter is such a terrible word. I hate
Mhm.
the word. It sounds clunky and awkward. It's terrible. And so we were talking about this one day on the air up in Nashville, and a woman called in and she suggested the word votainer. So
Yeah.
you would be the top votainer.
Okay. I
And
like.
so I'm trying to make that happen.
Yeah, because vote getter is kind of vulgar sounding.
It sounds,
Mm-hmm.
offensive somehow.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's not, it has this kind of sound to it, vote getter, just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So votainer. So yeah,
All right.
use it when you can. Christy says the superior condiment is cheese dip. Melted cheese wins over everything. Yeah, but anything you can put melted cheese on, I could put mayo on as well.
Okay. And so would you substitute mayo for queso dip at the Mexican restaurant?
In a pinch, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't choose it, but
Mm-hmm.
if I could only have one, like there's
It would be better than a plain chip.
exactly. Like
Okay.
you get nothing or you get mayo. It's like, oh yeah, I can dip
Mhm.
it in mayo. Like
Sure.
people don't realize back before I did PhD, mayo was on like everything I ate. So you can also add mayo to soups, thicken them up,
Mhm.
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I
Richie
saw.
says, "Just kidding." Now,
What did I see somebody using mayo for today? Oh, they were making omelets. It
yep,
was Michelin chef making an omelet in the microwave, and they put a heaping tablespoon of mayo, 1 egg, they beat it, and then they put it in a little bowl and popped it in the microwave for 40 seconds, and then dumped it out, and it was so fluffy and looked way better than any omelet I've ever seen. Because I'm not an
yeah,
omelet person, but
yeah. You could do it in scrambled eggs. Put them on scrambled eggs afterwards, and people are like, "You can't
Mhm.
put it on eggs." Like, hello, egg salad. Hello, like that's eggs and mayo. I wouldn't eat eggs and ranch. All right, moving on. Um, Mark says Google AI's take on it. Stuffing, the seasoned bread, rice, or other food mixture that is cooked inside a cavity of another food, such as poultry. Dressing, the same type of mixture that is cooked and served in a separate dish outside the main food item. Right. Except stuffing isn't made any longer solely in the cavity. If you go to the store, you will find on the shelves a product called stovetop stuffing, which
Mhm.
is made on a stovetop. It's not in the bird. You can
Yeah.
just make it on the side. That's how we grew up eating it.
Well, I mean, there's no dispute, right, as to the difference in the two dishes. It's just calling one of them dressing is the problem you have, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. It's so in my view, what you call dressing, that's
Mhm.
also stuffing. Like unless you come up with a different name for it, because it's the
Well,
same kind of product.
yeah, but so it would be cornbread stuffing as opposed to breadcrumbs
Right.
stuffing.
I will accept this as a compromise solution.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but you don't agree that taste and all is superior to what you call stuffing.
No, and even mayo, I'm not saying it tastes superior. To me, it does,
Mhm.
um, but I say like whether you like the taste of something or not is not relevant to
The
the
versus,
ranking
yeah.
of right. It's based on its versatility, right?
Mhm.
Its usefulness, I mean, and you think about it, like just the components of mayo. It's just egg, oil, and vinegar,
Mhm.
and those three things go with like anything else you're making. So there's always some connection to like any kind of dish. So
Okay.
ranch is seasoned mayo, says Lynn.
Mm.
It's dill mayo, is what that is. uh,
Wait,
honey
let's
mustard is made out of mayo. True. Ranch made out of mayo. Coleslaw has mayo. Potato salad, mayo. All things creamy are made out of mayo.
mhm.
It's true. You can use buttermilk instead of mayo. But why would you when you've
I
got
don't think
mayo?
I don't think you do though. I
You
think
can.
you use both, right?
Yeah, I've made it with both.
When I
Yeah.
make it, I use both.
Mhm.
And I go pick my own herbs and I dry them and I crush them and the whole thing.
Really?
I have an herb garden right over there
Is that legal?
in the dungeon. No, no. But hey, let's say you're going out though. You're going out to eat. Somebody said, "Hey, it's your birthday. What type of food do you want at a restaurant? Which type of restaurant are you going to?"
A type of restaurant or the
Yeah,
food?
the type like for me, it would probably be Mexican. Is my
Mm,
favorite type of food.
mm. So I got a question. What is up with the Mexican and Chinese restaurants where they feel the need to like impress me with 700 items on the menu, but they're all made of the four same
Mhm.
products, basically? It's like there's a very limited amount of food. They just mix it up and call it different names based on like in Mexican food. It's like, okay, well, here's like, lettuce, tomato, and chicken and cheese, and it's cold. So it's called this, and now it's hot. So it's called this other thing, and it's in this kind of a shell. And so it's this other thing, and then it's in this other shell, and then we're gonna do the shell, and it's hot, and now the shell is cold, and it's like, just tell me, like just give me the like, pick a protein, pick a
I don't
thing.
know.
Yeah.
I just
They
always
they give me like 150 numbers to choose from, but it's all the same stuff basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I never pay attention to that. I just order the same thing every time I go because I
Mm.
go so infrequently. I get a bean and beef burrito with red sauce and queso dip over the top, and two soft tacos, beef soft tacos, no lettuce,
Ah,
and then I get cilantro to go on all of it, extra
mm.
cilantro, and Valentina hot sauce.
Bet your wife is happy after you go to eat there. Good Lord.
But do you like which type of restaurant's your favorite? You like Mexican? You like Italian? What?
You know what? So when I get, well, when I'll do this. When I was growing up, we never ate out, um, except once, like every 2 weeks, we would go to Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one night a week, we would get pizza from the local pizzeria because my mom was not a cook. And so everything we ate was always sloppy joes. And then when those Lipton microwavable pouch things came out, you add water and stick it in the microwave. So
Yeah.
you got rice and whatever. Then that was all she made. And so on the rare occasions when because I was one of 4 kids, so going out to eat with six,
Mm-hmm.
6 people, it was expensive. From my dad was working, mom wasn't, so it was like this is expensive. So we weren't going out to eat a whole lot. But anytime I went out to eat, every single time I would order fried chicken
Yeah.
because I could never get fried chicken at home. And so I would order the fried chicken. I loved fried chicken,
So
which
what was
again
New
is
York fried chicken about? Was it the same as our fried
KFC,
chicken?
like KFC. And that's the thing. Like, if we went to a restaurant, I would always ask if they have fried chicken. So it didn't ever matter to me what restaurant I went to. I was always getting fried chicken if they had it on the menu.
That's cool.
Yeah. But then again, that's how I ended up at PhD. Was that kind of palate. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so the up there, like Christmas Eve, we would go into my grandma's house towards the city, and my mom was one of 11 kids, so it was huge extended family. And everybody would drop in throughout the night and all this. So my Uncle Philip would always buy KFC to feed, these
Yeah.
armies of O'Donnell kids that were coming through. And so that was like the one night a year that I knew I was going to get some KFC. One
That's
night a year, Christmas Eve. That was it.
that is cool.
Yeah. Other than that, I guess a steakhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to the chats here, see what people are saying. Scott says, both of y'all love listening to your shows. Thank you, Scott.
And Alan's using one of my terms here that I
Uh-oh.
created. Professional Democrats. Mm.
What is a professional Democrat?
A professional Democrat is somebody whose livelihood depends on their being a Democrat.
Oh, I like it.
Not just elected Democrats, but the ones who work for them as well, their staff and all of that.
Sure. I like it. It's versatile too.
Mm-hmm,
Because you could even scoop up a lot of the protesters out there on the streets and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anybody who makes a living by being a Democrat.
Right. Tony is another caller. That's one of the other guys. Tony, Sean. Oh gosh, and now what was the first guy I said? I forget. See, that's what I mean. They all kind of blend together. I love having TJ on in the evenings too, says Janetta. Thank you. I don't know why I'm thanking you.
Sweet.
TJ. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sean calls a lot of shows. I message TJ all the time and he's never acknowledged me, but I'm good. Says Ritchie.
I recognize his name because obviously that's how I spell my name, Ritchie. Because Ritchie is my first name, my real name. And TJ was a name that I came up with when I first got into radio because they told me since I was a nighttime top 40 disc jockey, I needed a fake name.
Yeah.
So then by the time I got, on in my career, it stuck. So, but anyway, I recognize his name, and I don't know. I think is he Ritchie? Are you one that always insults me?
Or is this you, TJ?
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay.
It's not me. I
That's
wouldn't know how to do it, to be honest with you. You saw me trying to sign on here tonight.
I did. It took a while. John says, hello, Knox. Knox is my cat, our cat. Christy and I, we got this cat about 7 months ago. He's sleeping in that little pouch right there. He's actually, I'm pretty amazed that he's still sleeping. He's usually only down for about 20, 30 minutes. And then he makes his walk around the perimeter of the desk here. And then he'll sit right here, put the tail up, right in front of the camera. So he's actually doing pretty good tonight.
Saw him doing that the other day. We were on a Zoom.
Yes.
Doing that. Yeah. Catherine said, "Hi, Pete. You're one of my faves."
Thank you.
Well, he's one of everybody's faves.
I try to be.
Catherine, everybody loves Pete.
You need to listen to TJ's show. He has a podcast, so you can listen to it on your time.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. I wish I had the confidence to espouse views with no understanding of the topic. Well, we can't all do that, like TJ and I. I found a Philadelphia cheesesteak place in Hilton Head. Close, but not quite. That's bold to open a Philly cheesesteak shop at Hilton Head. Like you're getting a lot of people from up there that know what a Philly cheesesteak tastes like. Yeah. And you're going to open a store to these people. That's bold.
And that happens a lot with Louisiana cooking. You'll see a Cajun restaurant pop up, somewhere in the mountains of Virginia. I wonder what that's like. And 9 times out of 10, the people that live there love it. But when Louisianians stop, they're like, "Ooh, what is this?"
Okay, let's talk for a moment about this word you just used.
Yeah.
Louisianians?
Yeah, that's what we're called. Yeah. Louisianians. A lot of people think it's Louisianans, but it's Louisianians.
Is that like people like that term? Like, are they wedded to this term? Like, is it possible we could come up with like a better sounding term for that?
The other pronunciation is Louisianians.
Okay, that's not better.
But it's actually the explorers, Lewis and Anna, so Louisiana is closer to what it should be, I think, than Louisiana.
Who was Anna? I just heard of Clark.
Yeah,
Lewis and Clark.
Lewis, Anna, Clark. Anna was the middle name.
Okay. Do not rely on us for your history lessons.
Yeah, Clark didn't want to use it because it sounded too feminine. So,
what about Louisianians? No, Louisianites. Louisianites.
I think
I'll think of something.
Yeah.
I learned last week that they're called Mainers.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't like the way that sounds.
Mainers.
Yeah. John says, I'll be back in my dungeon carving in the near future. Good to hear, John, doing the woodworking. I'll be tuning in to TJ. I listen to more of WBT than the New York City stations. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who is running the board tonight? Shout out to, that is Nick Lazorchek. Nick, you can pop on in, make an appearance. There he is. There's Nick.
Thanks, Michael.
And I don't have to tell a lot of you this, but maybe some of you. Lazorchek is not a Southern name.
No, I don't think so. I'm trying though.
Nick is a good guy. He's one of the first people I met at WBT, and he's super, super nice guy.
Thank you.
Yes, he has. Well, how long have you been at BT now? Less than a year, or has it been a year?
Just over a year. It was a year in July.
Okay.
It was a year in July, and then I started working for you. In February?
Okay.
Middle of February, I think it was this year.
Yeah, we had to. As they do with all rookies, they put them on nights and weekends. You got to pay your dues in radio, and but then through a series of firings and resignations. He has risen through the ranks, and so now he's the daytime producer for my show, as well as he does Vince's show and I think he's going to start doing Brett's show
Mm-hmm.
in like a week or so.
Yeah,
Is
next
that
week.
news? Are we breaking this news to the WBT audience?
We're going to lose Isaac. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is the downside, is that Isaac is off to greener pastures. But he'll always have a place in our heart. And maybe he could do some fill-in work, People rarely ever totally leave. They usually hang around for a while. It's in the blood.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna try to hang on to Isaac on the other side of my business.
Oh, good.
A bit. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, he's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it? Oh, so this is Alan's comment that you were reading from. Why is it that professional Democrats say that Republicans are going to take away our democracy? Do they not realize our government is a republic? They do not. Or do they count on their voters not being aware of this? I think they don't. I think they just think it's, I think they focus group tested the democracy.
Yeah.
And they just use it because it's a shorthand way, and it's nebulous of like connecting to people, but it's nebulous enough where people don't know exactly what it means. So I can promise you that I'm going to protect this thing, but nobody really knows what it is. So then people project onto it their own ideas of what it is.
And I hate it when Republicans use the term as well.
Mm-hmm.
I always describe it like a lynch mob is a democracy.
Yes.
If somebody accuses, this woman just stole from my store, should we hang her? And then everybody standing around there goes, yes. Well, then they hang her because the majority said hang her, and she didn't get a day in court and all that. So
no due process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They think it means just people voting is what I think a lot of people just,
well, it means people voting the way they want them to vote.
Yeah.
For Democrats. And I assume that's also part of it too. It's, they're the Democrat Party. And so saying democracy connects them to this ideal that is a misnomer, but they've controlled our education system for 50 years. So nobody really knows that. So yeah, like people don't know we're a constitutional republic. People don't understand democracy. Like what I always say is democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting on dinner. That's democracy. And no, a republic with a democratic mechanism, but we are a representative constitutional republic by design, because the founders did not want a democracy because they knew what that meant.
Yeah, they hated democracy.
Mm-hmm.
They were fully against it. So it was another thing I was going to ask you. When you're talking about the schools, quick, because I know we've been on over an hour now.
See, that time flies when you're not getting paid.
What do you think of the idea of having cameras in the classroom so parents can log into their kids' school at any time and see what the teacher is teaching? So if the teacher's going on and on about, teaching kids that, boys can be girls and girls can be boys and all of that, the parent can see it happening and put a stop to it.
I would prefer that we had not arrived at a place where that would be needed.
Sure.
But here we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like, you've abused the public trust, not, hashtag not all teachers, but there have been so many incidents of that sort that you've lost the public's confidence. And, as long as you're going to require parents to send their kids to school, then especially if you're going to take kids' phones, which I support, you're going to take their phones away. So now we're not going to get any video evidence of anything that happens in the classroom. Okay, then put the camera on.
Yeah.
And people can then monitor. And because look, that's what happened in a lot of the the COVID era. That's what the backlash to a lot of the woke crap started during COVID, because parents finally got a look at what their kids were being told.
Well, so, when the education system really started going downhill was the first time they allowed teachers to wear dungarees.
I'll allow it.
As soon as the teachers started being able to dress so casually, the education system went down.
So was that
Yes,
all?
you can think
So
of
was that the
dungarees.
cause or was that the effect? Was the dungarees, which I haven't used that word in probably 30 years, was the rise of the dungarees, was that the canary in the coal mine that we just didn't recognize?
Well, it was what started attracting the teachers who were ultimately going to end up with pink hair and septum rings and, telling your kids to go change their sex.
Or do we go back? Well, did dungarees predate t-shirts?
No, dungarees started it because
That
it used
started
to,
it.
yeah, it said, okay, well, first of all, you can wear jeans, but you have to wear a nice top with it, ladies, or, and
Right.
shoes. And then it got more lax. And then all of the big problems start in the big cities, of course. So that's where it all, and then the day that you could walk into a classroom and not be able to tell the difference in the teacher and the students, there you are, right there. Liberalism on display.
Now that's a solid theory. John says professional Democrat sounds a lot like evangelical atheist. Christy, this is about the cat. He came out because he heard the food machine beeped. He ate it and then he went back in. So that's why he's asleep. The cat. So because he was waking us up at like 4:30, 5 a.m. every morning. And I'm not TJ, so I don't get up that early. That's stupid for me.
Yeah.
And so I went and got an automatic feeder, and it's round and it spins. So, and then you program it. You can program 5 meals in the thing. And every time, so when it starts moving, when it gets to the next time, so at 4:30, we've got a feeding. So this way we can sleep and he doesn't mess with us. And it starts making that little grinding as it starts rotating. And then when it locks in, beep, beep, and he knows what that sounds like. And wherever he is in the house, he hears that, he goes off, and then he fills his stomach and then he goes to sleep. He's getting kind of.
That's Pavlov's cat.
Exactly. Mark wants to know, what's your opinion of Cajun Queen? The song?
The restaurant in Charlotte. I'm guessing. You need that.
What's your opinion of the restaurant there?
I've never been. I've never been. And the reason why is because I have been burned so many times by places that called themselves Cajun. And I would go and then I would, try to talk to the people. So the owner, what part of Louisiana are they from? Because Louisiana is it's in different segments, North Louisiana, central to north is more just country, like the Duck Dynasty people.
Yeah.
And then the South Louisiana is Cajun, and New Orleans is different from all of it. But usually the only thing people know about is Cajun stuff. So I'd say, where are they from? Well, he's from, and then they would name whatever town, and then they'd say, but where's the chef from? Well, he's from here. He just learned how to cook the stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then it's always not authentic. But people have told me that Cajun Queen is good.
I've eaten there.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what I was eating.
Sure.
So it's not going to make for a good review. Plus, it was like 25 years ago. I don't remember what I got. So
I guess I need to go try it. I mean, I've only been in Charlotte for 25 years, 26 years.
Yeah, I think it's probably time now. I mean, you don't want to go immediately.
Right. I don't want to just run and.
Yeah, people would start talking about it.
Sure.
They'd have opinions. Oh, he ran right to the Cajun restaurant. Of course he did. He's from Louisiana. He's a Louisianian.
He can't leave it. Just can't leave it.
Yeah. Lynn says, very entertaining. Thank you. Listen to you guys tomorrow. And then everyone's saying, hello, Nick. Hello, everybody. Obama dressing less than presidential started it. Oh, the tan suit.
Yeah. You know what? I said this back then, and I'll still stick with it. Now, obviously, I'm not a fan of anything Obama has ever done, but I didn't get the hysteria over the khaki suit that he wore that day. I actually thought it looked good.
Yeah.
And I know they're supposed to be dark suits and it's more professional and all that, but and that was back before I got fat and I used to dress really well. And I thought, I loved khaki suits, and but
I never. So here's because I remember this quote scandal. It wasn't even a scandal. Nobody was even talking about it. Like he came out, he was wearing a tan suit. He popped out in like a press briefing or something, and then he went away. It was summertime too, right?
yeah,
So like I had no thoughts about it. Ronald Reagan wore tan suits. Like
hmm
nobody cared. Like, on the right, nobody cared. And as a talk host at the time, I can assure you, nobody was saying anything on the right about the tan suit.
yeah,
The left made the tan suit a scandal
hmm
by accusing the right of having a problem with it.
yeah. It's
And
like they even have a problem with the clothes he wears. They're such,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
bet.
and it could have started off as some stupid comment like, "Oh, yeah, they're probably gonna attack him for wearing a tan suit."
Mhm.
"What? What? They attacked him from wearing a tan suit?" Because I just remember seeing, like, all of a sudden, like, the Washington Post and New York Times are doing stories about this tan suit, and I'm like, what are they even talking about? Like, I wasn't even aware of this quote scandal. And even to this day, you get Democrats that say, oh, his biggest scandal was the tan suit. And it's like,
Mm.
no. Fast and Furious was a pretty big scandal too. And of
Yeah.
course, now we know all of the stuff he did about, spying on Donald Trump. Like, those are pretty
Mhm.
big scandals as well. He had a bunch of them, but to the left, it's the tan suit. It's just,
Yeah. He had no scandals. What are you talking about? His
it's,
entire administration was without scandal.
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it's not like he ate a dog or anything.
Yeah.
Um, Mon, hello, Mon. Um, yeah,
Hey.
the mom jeans were a worse fashion scandal. His mom jeans.
Yeah.
Remember
And
that one?
he wore the mom jeans when he threw out the first pitch at a White Sox game.
And he was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was almost like he was throwing it because wasn't he left-handed?
Yeah,
I think Obama's left-handed,
of
and then
course.
I think he was throwing it. Looked like he was throwing it with his right hand, or he could have tried to throw it with his foot, and it probably would have worked out better.
Yeah. It was not a strong showing of
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you know what? We can't all be gifted athletes. Although
Mm.
George W. Bush,
Yeah.
like I watch every 9/11, I rewatch that video of him throwing out that first pitch at Yankee Stadium. And like, if
Incredible.
ever there was a moment where an elected official needed to hit the plate,
Mhm.
he was the guy, former owner of the Texas Rangers. Like, please let this man know how to throw a pitch. Please make it clear the home plate. And he did,
Yeah,
and it
he
was
was
awesome.
he was wearing a bulletproof vest too while he was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
See, that's what we're made of. Conservatives, the right, we're made of that. They're made of mom jeans and awful throws.
yeah. Have you ever thrown out a first pitch?
Yeah, I did it 2 summers ago at the Kannapolis Cannonballers game.
Nice.
And here's a funny story. There was a small. I'll do it quickly because I got to go to bed.
Yeah.
So this minor league baseball team came to Alexandria, Louisiana. It's where Ace and I started on the radio together, and so they wanted one of us to throw out the first pitch one night, and then the next one throw it, the other one throw it the next night. So I did it first, and then the next night, Ace went to do it, and he was always Mr. You got to do it. I'm gonna do it. So he reared back and he flung it, and it bounced off the back of the plate and caught the catcher under his cup, put him down. And the place was packed because the team was brand new to town. It was just like the small town, just got a professional baseball team, and they're like, "Oh!" He just falls like to his
Yeah.
knee, and
Yeah. Just like rolls over.
yeah, like,
That's awful, but hilarious. I don't know why why is it so funny?
I don't know,
Bob Saget made a living off of those
Mhm.
videos.
But they had to delay the game.
I'm
So,
sure they did. That's awful. But hilarious. Yeah.
mhm.
All right. Okay. You got to go to bed. It's 7:15. I feel like this was very successful denouement to the that's a Spanish word, by the way, to the Talktober festivities. I'm just kidding. It's actually a German word.
Yeah.
And so we did clear. What did we get? 39. Is that what somebody said? Did we have a count on the we'll say it on the air tomorrow. We'll rub everybody else's faces in it. Oh, Nick's popping in.
According to my notes.
Oh, hang on a second. I got this. All right.
Average of 35 with a high of 40 viewers at 620.
Whoa. Whoa.
So we got
You guys are
40
the men.
viewers and then convinced several of them to leave within moments.
Yeah. But, you know, the thing is that, you know, I told everybody that everybody else was just building up to this big finale. So
I feel like we delivered.
yeah. Mm-hmm. I think so too. Good job, my friend.
Good job, my friend. And
Thank
we'll see you
everybody.
Wednesday night. For everybody who wants to come hang out with TJ will be there. I will be there. All of the other hosts will be at the News and Brews event presented by Craft Body Scan. It's going to be at Heist Brewery and Barrel Arts, 7:00. If you want tickets, go to WBT.com. I'm not sure if I was supposed to do that promo more than once. I don't even know if I was supposed to do it at all, but I did it.
Yeah, you're a company man. You're getting it out there.
There you go. All right, brother. See you.
All right. See y'all later.